Jared, what are some of the biggest compliance challenges that credit unions are facing?
Well, there's no shortage when it comes to the world of compliance, and so a lot of credit unions are grappling with everything from data security, cybersecurity, privacy concerns. Certainly mortgage lending regulations are still present that we're having to focus on. A lot of things related to the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, the Military Lending Act. The list goes on, and it depends a lot on the size of the credit union. Some of the smaller credit unions struggle because there's just not a great deal of resources when it comes to throwing fire at compliance. And so the CEOs and managers and branch managers are intimately involved in compliance, trying to wear as many hats as possible. We recognize that that's a challenge, and we're trying to provide as many resources from CUNA to our credit union members as possible to assist them with compliance and the overall regulatory burden.
And how are credit unions using technology to help them with their compliance efforts?
So the number of regulations and the number of Federal Register pages that have been promulgated over the last several years have almost made it impossible if you're tracking compliance or regulatory change management in a manual fashion. So the technology really helps to bring together the efficiencies and allows the credit unions to hone in on those particular regulatory requirements, to know exactly which policies need to be changed, which procedures need to be amended, and how you're going to account for compliance overall from an audit perspective. And I think the technology really kind of brings a level of support to credit unions that they really struggled with in trying to manage from a more manual process using Excel spreadsheets to track regulatory changes, et cetera, over the last several years. So we're excited about that technology component being available for credit union folks.
And what are compliance management systems, and how can credit unions use them to aid in their compliance efforts?
So compliance management systems, there are the multiple elements that go into a compliance management system. It's a compliance officer, it's compliance policies, it's compliance training and education, and it's compliance audits, et cetera. So it's really a platform, a technology platform, the compliance management system will be built on that we're providing. I think that many credit unions are kind of looking down the road and saying, okay, we're going to have to tackle this more proactively. It's here to stay. It's kind of a culture of compliance at the top, all the way down through the organization. So it's no longer that siloed function in many credit unions. It's a collaborative cross-departmental focus. Compliance touches so many different elements of the credit union that folks are tackling it cross-functionally and saying, okay, this is a better approach than the more siloed approach that it has been in the past.